Hey, if you are just joining us on today's unbelievably We Love Tech show, jump on here and say hello. So wherever you are, tell us in the comment section where you are. Are you live? Are you watching the replay? You're going to hear cars beeping. That you are going to. There might actually be some sort of like, I don't know. I don't want. I'm going to knock on wood that nothing goes wrong during this. So. You guys, super excited. My name is Casey Eberhart. If we don't know each other, if we do, then you will see the hilariousness in my face right now. I have with me a very, very special guest today, Karen Glasser. And Karen and I are going to talk about something that just happened because we think it's hilarious. Okay, so let me set up the day for you guys. Okay, so check this out. So I just literally got back from Sydney, Australia yesterday morning. I am beyond jet lagged at the moment, right? So today I have a friend in town from Australia, and so we thought, hey, we'll take her down to Disneyland before she leaves on a flight tonight. Okay, so here, check this out. Check out this scene, guys. So I am unbelievably fortunate to have a friend, a partner in crime, a peer, a mentor, an unbelievable woman in my life named Karen Glasser. She is right here. Wait, to here. This way. There she is, right there. Okay? And she launched about exactly an hour and 9 minutes ago. We were set to go live and launch a brand new digital magazine called The Little White Lie. And Karen, I'm going to have Karen tell you about The Little White Lie in a second, but this was hilarious. So check this out. I knew that I was fortunate to be not only in the magazine, but today's the big launch show. So I knew that we were coming down here today. I knew I was going to be jet lagged. I knew the traffic was going to be bad. So I literally rented a hotel room so that I could be set for today's broadcast that started an hour ago, an hour and 9 minutes ago. So here's what happens. We get to the hotel and go in to check in, and they say, oh, you can't check in until 4. Now, I had called ahead of time to make sure I could check in, but apparently there's a brand new system as of today that you can no longer check in before 4 o'clock at the Disneyland at one of these hotels. So I'm like, crap. I really said shit, but I said crap for you guys, right? So we love tech. So we get all the way here, park the car. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to take my computer and we're going to go down to, and perfect that the dogs are barking. This is even better. Now, if you guys can just wait and see here, they're going to empty the trash cans here at the Disneyland Hotel parking structure, which is the glorious place I am, right? So we get here. I go, okay, I'll just take my computer and I'll go to the Disneyland Hotel or to California Adventure and I'll set up there. So I take the tram all the way there. I'm now less than an hour away, 30 minutes before I'm supposed to be on with Karen in the show lobby, right? Now she's got all these people. It's like massive. So I get off the tram at the Disneyland Hotel and I go, oh, wait a second. She is going to totally want to make sure I'm on a headset because it's going to be loud where I am. And I knew that I brought a headset. So I'm like, okay, punt. So I get back in the tram. I come all the way back to the parking lot. If you've ever been to Disneyland, it's not a short trip. Yeah. So 27 minutes later, I'm now at the truck and I go, wait a minute, where's the second headset? I'd given it to my friend Margot, so I call Margot on her Australian phone in Disneyland, and she's like, oh, I put it in the center console of your truck. Well, my truck would be back in Hollywood because we took another truck down here. So I'm like, crap, I have no headset. So now I have no place to do the show, and no headset. So I'm like, crap, punt. So I go to the security personnel down on the thing, and I say, hey, can I take one of these security tables off into the corner to set up a little place because I got to do this super world broadcast interview? He's like, I can't. Actually, it's a policy. They only use these tables for security. I'm like, crap. He's like, you know what? Why don't you go up in the parking lot? There's probably some quiet place up there. I'm like, okay. So come up here. Get my computer all set up. I'm ready to rock and roll. Now, I'm going to show you guys. I'm literally in a parking lot at the Disneyland Hotel. Now, so I find a plug, right? Because I'm like, I'm literally like, look, you guys, no joke. I'm on a parking thing here, right? So I set this up, right? Now, here's where it just goes total haywire. It's now 2:15, and I'm supposed to be in the lobby of the show with all these amazing women as we get ready to launch the show. I go, crap, my hotspot. I need my hotspot. So I dig in my bag, and then I realize that my hotspot is currently charging on my desk at home because I needed to make sure that I had every duck covered for the show today. So I'm like, shit, what do I do now? Now I have no headset and no hotspot. So then I'm like, okay, punt. So then I take my iPhone and I try to get this whole thing. I've never used the personal hotspot. It's total crap. I get it all set up. I finally get in the show lobby at 2:20, like 2:25. I see all these women in there. They're all getting ready. And I realize as the camera rolls on, I'm in my t-shirt. Now, I literally brought a dress shirt. I'm wearing shorts and sneakers. I brought a dress shirt. So I'm like, boom, boom. I'm wrinkling out my shirt. Karen and everybody else is talking, and I literally forget that I'm on camera. So I take my shirt off right in front of all these ladies in the lobby of this show, going, and then Karen starts laughing, and then I start to freeze. And I'm sure I froze with my, like, wonderful, gorgeous body. I freeze, and Karen's like, okay, go out and come back in. So I shut everything down, come back.
And we're gone.
Yeah, I come back, and nobody's there. So I sit there in the lobby of this show, and I'm dancing around, and I think that I've got it all set up. I restarted everything. I think I restarted everything. No one's on the show. No one's communicating. No one, and I'm seeing a couple comments go, I can't see anything. I can't see anything. I'm like, thank goodness. Right? So anyways, I say all of that. Here we are. Here's what happened behind the scenes. It wasn't my jack up, right? It was the technology's jack up. And so here we are. And now I get to actually talk to Karen about the Little White Lie magazine, and we're going to roll as long as it rolls. Now, here's the best part. When we were supposed to go live, I knew my time slot. You guys, no joke. During my time slot, which was supposed to be 2:55 to 3 o'clock, this giant machine came to empty the trash cans right behind me. Diesel trucks started rolling past here. A car alarm went off, and apparently there was some road rage fight between two cars because honking and beeping was going on. It was hilarious. So anyways, my little white lie, Karen, quite frankly, everything's perfect. So,
well, you know what, Casey, the funny thing about this is, and I mean, it is funny. We have to laugh at it because otherwise we'll cry. So we have to laugh at it. But what you said is true. When you finally were able to get everything going and you came in, you saw that nobody was there because unbeknownst to you, we went to go live again because nobody could see us. They could hear us, but they couldn't see us. And so we decided we're going to go and start a brand new show. So we went and did that. And of course, nobody appeared to be seeing us. So I actually just asked you a question a few minutes ago in the spirit of being transparent. It looked like nobody was on again. And I had a little bit of a hissy fit, actually. And I think I pounded the table and I went, technology, like that. And then we realized that people could see and hear us.
Well, and in true spirit, I love, oh gosh, I love reading the comments that are already happening. I got Kim Live's adventure. Tara's like two of my favorite people. Master of workarounds, hashtag master of workarounds. So anyway, so Karen, let's talk about the Little White Lie and what that is and why that's so important and how it ties into technology and how that all works. Well,
about a year ago, I decided to chronicle, at the time, it was my little white lie. It was my white hair growing out, and I decided I was going to do it in front of the camera. And it became clear after a couple of weeks, actually, that it was more, the little white lie was not just about my hair. It's about the lies that we tell ourselves as we're getting older.
You right now, right?
You are not looking at me right now.
But I should be, according to the screen. Oh, yeah, what you're saying is perfect. You're right next to me. It's gorgeous.
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. And so we started doing these lives, and that's where the technology comes in, because we started using, Facebook Lives to do the shows, and they were, 10-minute shows, 12-minute shows, and I brought on a lot of guests, and it kind of rolled into this actual Little White Lie virtual magazine. And fast forward to about a month ago when I approached you, as well as a few other people that are in the magazine. Would you be a contributor in the magazine? And here we are. We have the launch of the new Little White Lie virtual magazine. It's the premiere issue. I'm really, really proud of it. I actually revealed the cover of the magazine, which of course we can't show here because we can't. But what we will do, Casey, is we'll put a link to the magazine in the description here when we're all done.
Yeah, and we'll also put it in the comment section. And you guys, here's the thing. Karen, what I absolutely am, first off, let me just say I'm beyond honored to have even been considered and asked to be part of such an amazing project. You know, this Little White Lie movement that you started and created has built up a movement over time. I mean, much larger than I had ever, I had ever frankly thought, you know, not that I thought you weren't capable of, but I know how big the movement would be. I mean, to the point where, you know, you're being talked about in circles around the country.
Right. Well, actually, you want to hear something funny? So one of the things that we are able to track is we're getting between 8,000 and 10,000 views on the videos, actually, on the live, so which is really, really incredible. But
who has the most views of any show?
But do you know where a lot of my viewers are coming in from? Italy. So what the message is to our viewers here is that through the magic of technology and through the magic of doing lives and through the magic of being able to reach out in platforms such as this, the world is at your fingertips. It doesn't just have to be the person that lives across the street. And I think that that's really the message. Technology is technology, and it can be frustrating. We all know that. And you know, it's just a matter of realizing technology is only as good as it is in that particular moment in time, and that it will get better and it might even get worse. But technology is great. So this whole movement is based upon the technology, and I'm just really pleased with where it's going.
Well, and Karen, can we go back, because I really feel like I'm having this kind of inner urge to actually answer the question that I talked about in the magazine and that I was virtually going to talk about on the show today, and that really kind of made your and I's kind of conversation starter.
So let me ask you the question. So, Casey, one of the things that we asked you, and the question that you answered was, can you teach an old dog new tricks? So what do you think? Can you teach an old dog?
Well, it's funny, you guys. Now I'm going to share with you what I told Karen I was going to answer. So I knew that was going to be. So I told her my original answer was going to be no, put the damn dog down, make a vet, send a vet's kid to college. But and then she said, you don't have the balls to say that. And I'm like, oh, well, you just don't know me very well.
Yeah.
So look, you know, when it comes time to, no offense to dogs everywhere, you know, when it comes time to start talking about teaching an old dog new tricks, I started really thinking about and pondering, what does that phrase mean? Right? Mm-hmm. And really what it means, to me anyways, when I hear that, especially in a business terms, is, you know, once somebody goes down a path, can they change? Right? You know, my parents retired a few years ago and they had to reinvent themselves. And along with the Little White Lie movement, it's all kind of about like, what have you been secretly desiring to do? What do you have going on? You know, and can you change? Right. And so when I looked at when I kind of thought about, and especially today, kind of setting this whole thing up and going through that, you know, clown car of catastrophes, I really started thinking about, you know, what does that really mean? And to me, what it really means is, can somebody change? Can somebody be adaptable and flexible? And if they are adaptable and flexible, do we have the ability to create anew, right? Be somebody new, stepping out, right? And Karen, I really got thinking about you. Just you and I have been friends for many, many years. And, you know, if you guys don't know Karen, first off, you should, number one. Number two, when she was a kid, she was a rock and roll singer, a kid's rock and roll singers, you know. So if you went to a zoo or a mall back in the 70s, you probably saw Karen sing, right? And then she became a cantor at a synagogue, which is singing and
Casey's frozen.
Right? There's a moment, Karen, where I was thinking of you as a cantor. And then I remember sitting with you at the Westin Hotel talking about you becoming an internet marketer.
Right. And I said, no way, I'm not an internet marketer.
When you go, what?
I said, no way, I'm not an internet marketer. I remember that conversation.
Exactly. And so now not only have you gone through, been one of the premier internet marketers of our generation, look where we are today. You've completely evolved into somewhat of a media mogul, and now we are today launching a digital magazine, which is when we were kids, or you were a kid, and even I was a kid. Gotta love them. Glad they didn't honk. we would have never thought that was even possible.
Right.
And I think one of the things when it comes time to talking about can an old dog be taught new tricks, I think all of us have to take on that attitude of if we're changing and if we're adaptable and if we're flexible and if we keep an open mind to what's out there, we can always be creating. Right. And in my business world, you know, I teach and train entrepreneurs to not focus. I teach them not to balance and not focus, because focus forces you to only look at one narrow slice. Right. And so when you and I have talked about this, you know, can you teach an old dog new tricks and the little white lie? Right. I always see it as such a big, broad, like cone of creation, if you will. You know what I mean?
No, I totally do. And I think it's so true. I mean, here I'm going to be 61 in a couple of weeks. And
cut the white hair.
I know.
That was my version of the front door.
That's the front door. And actually what you're saying is so true. I never would have thought that, not that I don't think 61 is old. Actually, I don't think about the age being old or not. It's just simply how you show up in the world. But I never really thought that at this stage of my life, the next third of my life, I like to say, that I would be doing something like this. In fact, I was actually about 6 months ago talking about retiring because, you know, my husband's retiring and I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll retire too. Fat chance that's not happening. So, thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that. And so, things change and you can teach an old dog new tricks. And in fact, that's what this whole movement is about, that we have to keep growing. We have to keep changing. We can't let the media tell us that we can't do something. We can't let, somebody say that you're supposed to look a certain age at a certain, hello, Cara, at a certain, age, you're supposed to look like this. You can't have white hair because you're old and you won't get hired. You can't wear high heels. You're too old to learn technology. Or, you're supposed to retire at a certain age. Let's talk about death. Let's talk about sex. There's so many different things that come up when we talk about getting older. And you just nailed it. You are never too old to start again and to create again and to just recreate again. And that's what's, I think, the most favorite part about what I'm doing at this point, is that the world is our oyster, not just my oyster, it's everybody's oyster if you happen to like oysters. The ability to recreate again. And you can do it. You can absolutely do it.
So look, guys, we just wanted to jump on here and kind of tell you our absolute clown car of technology clusters today. I would actually like to put my t-shirt back on and go back into Disneyland and enjoy the park for 2 seconds before. Karen, so what I'm going to ask you to do is if you will Facebook me the link to the magazine.
I will do that.
What I'm going to ask you guys to do is when we're done, if you guys would do me a favor, go click on the magazine link, download the magazine. It's a fantastic read. She's got some amazing stuff in there. And I would love you forever if you would share that link to your wall. If you like the magazine, share. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Karen, what is your favorite charity?
Actually, the Fort Lauderdale School of Autism.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Karen is going to send me that link as well. If you guys will take that link of that magazine and share it on your Facebook wall and tag me and or Karen in that Facebook thing and put hashtag, what is your hashtag?
Little White Lie.
So put hashtag Little White Lie in the post with the link to the magazine. For each one of you that does that, I'm going to donate $5 to the Fort Lauderdale School of Autism.
Oh, that's awesome, Casey. Thank you. Thank you.
It's literally a bribe. You guys, I want you to get this magazine. I want you to share it with your wall because I think what Karen's doing and the movement that she's creating is absolutely unbelievable. And I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. So I know that Cara's going to do it. Tim Gillette's going to do it. Ellen's going to do it. Sandra's going to do it. Rebecca Randall will definitely do it. Colleen will do it. Sherry will do it. Andrea will do it. I know everyone on here will do it. So we'll get those links up for you guys. And until next time, thanks so much for jumping on and watching the shit show of technology.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.